The harsh truth about embracing your life as you grow and change to become the best version of yourself is accepting that change is inevitable. Welcome or welcome back. It is your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, of course, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates, as well as grab your pen and your paper and be prepared to take notes. With that being said, because change is inevitable, it's really important that you learn how to be present. I know you don't want to hear that. I know it may sound like cliche. This is not clickbait, but that is the truth. That is the reality when it comes to life. As you change in life, you're going to change in every area of your life. Your emotions are going to change, so they're going to fluctuate. Your mindset's going to change. Your perspective about life is going to change. Physically, you can change. Like, change does not have to be challenging, difficult, or scary. So in this video, we are going to recommend 5 things you have to do daily, every single day, in order for you to stay consistent and, most importantly, not be so hard on yourself. The first thing you have to do in order for you to change and embrace it is accept the fact that you may or may not be where you want to be. That's the harsh truth. Accepting that you may not be where you want to be right now. And the reason why it's so important for you to accept this is so, number one, you can validate your emotions and stop suppressing them by acknowledging them, articulating them, and communicating them, as well as understanding why you feel the way you do, so therefore you can move forward. Just because you've made certain choices up until today watching this video doesn't make you a failure, doesn't make you a loser, and most importantly, doesn't mean that you cannot change where you are. A lot of times people suffer with change because maybe they weren't taught and shown, but when you come across these videos, it's very mindful that you're intentional and that you have your pen and your paper, you're engaging by asking questions, let me know what works for you, what you need to improve on, and most importantly, applying this information. Because this is an educational channel, which means we inform, motivate, and educate, I'm trying to make it entertaining, but just keep that in mind. You don't have to beat yourself up about your past if you did not have the resources, like the tools, the education, the finances, the guidance, and the wisdom and discernment that you have now. Why would you beat yourself up over choices you made previously where you weren't taught and shown how to overcome them, or maybe you were afraid of? The second thing you have to do in order for you to embrace change is understand that it is a choice. Everything in life is about choices, but when it comes to growing and letting go of old mindsets and behaviors and patterns and morals and etc., you have to want it. It has to be a desire. So the same way you choose to watch this video on YouTube, the same way you choose to hang out with certain people, you wear certain things, you say certain things, you do certain things, is the same choices we have to make in our everyday life. Now, with you making changes and choices, don't have the expectation of having to do it all at one time. A lot of people get so disappointed because they want to change and evolve in 24 hours without being practical of the resources and the tools to actually make that a reality. So like, if your goal is to change your eating habits and you want to either lose weight or gain weight, how do you think you're going to lose and gain weight in a day? Even if, let's just say, you were to cut off sugar, you want to change from eating unhealthy snacks or unhealthy foods. Just because you stop eating sugar today in that moment doesn't mean that your blood system, your nervous system, and your body is automatically going to heal from that. So it's just like, it's nothing wrong with wanting to do certain things in life, but we have to be practical about what we're doing in our everyday life and our everyday routine, so therefore we can see the results. And that's the third thing. When it comes to change, instead of focusing on what you lack, what you weren't aware of, what can you do today in this moment to start to make the changes that you want to see. So the best way you can do this is to figure out what it is that you want to change from, what it is that you want to grow from. Once you decide that you want to be accountable and responsible, and then make a list of things that you have and things that you don't have. The things that you have, you then can start applying. You then can start educating, researching, informing, seeking assistance to work towards it and to continue. And the things that you lack over time, you can start saving, you can start investing, or just doing what you need to do. So I created a 30-day consistency challenge. And in this consistency challenge, I created a playlist of videos of who, when, what, where, and why to do certain things. Because in order for you to be consistent, in order for you to be committed, in order for you to be successful, in order for you to see results, you do have to be strategic. You do have to be intentional. So I'm going to plug that here somewhere here on the screen, as well as the description down below. Because you are letting go of an old version of you, the fourth thing you have to be aware of is being patient. Once again, if you decide to heal yourself from getting out of poverty, whether that's mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, psychologically, and you decide today in this moment or whenever you decide that you want to change, you have to realize that if you were taught and shown to be less fortunate or to struggle for 20, 30, 40 years, once again, unlearning and changing your perspective about how you feel about money and finances and etc. is going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take effort. Learning to let go of things when you have attachment issues, codependency issues, maybe you lack the knowledge and lack the resources, is going to take time. The best advice that I could tell you when it comes to life and just anything in general is learn how to be present. This is how you learn how to be present. Of course, you have to practice this. This is what a lot of people don't tell you. A lot of people tell you that in order for you to see growth and to see manifestations, you have to visualize, you have to have affirmations, and you just have to pray on it. This is not to discredit that information, but one of the main key ingredients, of course, is the actual action and doing it consistently. And consistent does not have a timeline. Consistency does not have a timeline, and there's not a one size fit all to consistency. So you changing and you evolving could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years. This is why I recommend, if you're new here, to watch the 30-day consistency challenge because we break that down. Those videos are a little bit lengthier, but I'm giving you guys all the information that you need. Being consistent is a form of responsibility, and that's what nobody talks about. I'm so struggling to get all my words out. Learning how to embrace a new version of you, like I said, especially if you feel stuck and stagnant, if you've been diagnosed with PTSD, ADHD, anxiety, you're neurodivergent, whatever it is going to take time. Because once again, even when somebody diagnosing you or telling you that you can and cannot do something, subconsciously and consciously, you allow that information. Unfortunately, you receive that information. This is why it's really important to be mindful of who you listen to and what you're watching, because to be honest, even with myself, nobody can tell you who you are. All I'm doing is informing and educating you. And like I say all the time, check the research, question me, as well as pay attention to the fruits of the labors. But it's like you have to be mindful of what people are telling you, because it's like just because certain people haven't had access to certain things, or just because certain people can't do certain things, doesn't mean they have the right to tell you what you can and cannot do in life. If people are going to give you advice or suggestions or diagnose you, it should be to uplift you. It shouldn't make you feel bad about yourself. And I'm going to throw shade because as a naturopathic physician, you have a lot of Western societies and a lot of Western doctors telling people that they have all these diagnoses and all these problems. And now you're taking temporary forms of medication, which does not go to the source or the root, as well as psychologically cause you to have more symptoms. Yeah. So to all the doctors, all the psychiatrists, all the therapists, let me know, because I'm not afraid. That's why I created this platform. So you have to realize that as you are unlearning and learning things that no longer resonate with you, you also have to be able to let go, which is going to be the fifth thing. And I'm going to end off the video with that. You have to be willing to let go, which means certain people, places, morals, behaviors, mindsets are going to change, are going to grow. There are seasons in our life that we're meant to experience and learn from, but we're not meant to overextend them. So when you start to grow and certain people, places, and things don't want to grow, or you're meant to outgrow them, do not question it. As you grow in your life, as you mature, as you evolve, you'll be able to understand why you met certain people, what you were supposed to learn about yourself, what you're supposed to learn about them, and even life in general. But it's not meant for you to stay stuck and stagnant. The reason why we stay stuck and stagnant is because we're not moving with intention. We're not moving with purpose, regardless if you want to be a multimillionaire or you just want to be financially stable. You have to have goals, and in order for you to have goals, you have to understand why you want to do certain things. And once again, comparing yourself is not going to help you because everybody doesn't want to live the same life, and that is okay. So like I said in the beginning of this video, always and only take what resonates, even with myself. Always feel free to ask questions. If you're questioning people, they should not be getting mad. They should not be getting offended, and realizing that when you want to do certain things in life, the longer you resist doing it, the more challenging and the more difficult it's going to be. And also, too, I'm going to end off the video with this. I know I said that already, but I'm for real this time. When changing, keep in mind that it's unfamiliar. So if you decide to get yourself out of poverty, in your entire life you are on low income or fixed income, you live paycheck to paycheck, you have to realize that you may feel nervous, you may not be confident, you may not be as educated or equipped, but every single day, as long as you're willing to educate yourself, you finance yourself, you get the resources and research, tongue twister, as well as ask for assistance, you're going to make progress every day. But once again, you can't have an expectation on change or growth because you're limiting yourself. Another thing, as you are growing, like I said, I'm going to say this part again because a lot of people struggle with this. If you want to change the way you are and you're used to a way of living from your parents, family, friends, like people that were around you, you have to be willing to create distance. You have to be willing to separate yourself. If you can't cut off your mom or your dad or your family or even your partner or your kids in order for you to lock down, in order for you to sit with yourself, you're going to stay where they are. And it's not to throw shade, but it's just like everybody's not always going to be in every chapter of your life. Even myself. So it's just like embracing change, honestly, is just all about if we want to do certain things. Of course, when you decide to lose weight, it could seem difficult because you're not used to doing it. Of course, when you decide to get your degree, it could seem intimidating and overwhelming. Once again, if you really want something, a lot of times if you're not taught and shown, you do have to challenge yourself. You do have to force yourself to get to certain levels of your life. And I'm speaking from experience. I had to challenge myself. I had to push down all these limitations and blockages, and speaking from experience, because there's no limit to life unless you limit yourself. You don't know how long it's going to take to change to see certain results. A lot of people want things to be so quick, and it's just like, unless you've done it before, unless you know how to make it more convenient, you don't know. So it's just like, you can't be 50-50. You could take your time, you could pace yourself, you don't have to rush, right? And you only listen to people who pour into you, motivate you, and make you feel good. But any and everything else, if it's no longer aligning with what it is that you want to do or who you want to be, you need to remove it. So your homework assignment is to write down what it is that you want to achieve from now in the month of June 2025. Whenever you're watching this, let me know until the end of this year. There's one thing that you could do starting in the month of June or when you come across this video. Once you write down what it is that you want to do or what you want to experience, I need you to write down everything else that's not in alignment with it. So an example before I end off the video is if you want to lose weight. That'll be on the top of the notes that you're supposed to be taking right now. And your notes could be on your iPad, your iPhone, a pen and paper, notebook, composition book, whatever journal. I want to lose weight, or I want to gain weight, or healthy diet, whatever. That's the objective, right? That's the main topic. What do we need to do? Exercise, yoga, eat healthy, drink water, whatever it is, diet, use supplements. Now, what's the opposite of that? Overeating, eating just to eat, eating toxic, sugary, inflammatory foods, going out to eat every day. What could we do today if we don't have the finance and the resources? Well, one, I'm on YouTube. How can I lose weight? What is it called? Nutritionist near me. What supplements can I take? If you're on YouTube, you could Google the information. You could Google it on like the Google search engine, because that's what YouTube is. You can use YouTube. You can use TikTok. You can go to the library. It's free. You can ask family and friends, but you have to be willing to educate yourself or go to God, ancestors, and universe. If you believe in that. I'm not here to force religion or spirituality. Take what resonates, leave the rest. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for commenting down below and let me know what resonates with you and what's not, as well as turning your post notification bell so you are subscribed, as well as follow me on all social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below. And thank you for booking your service and your session is. Just make sure you guys are reading your booking policies so there's no confusion. And when you guys follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, I will continue to be going live during the summertime until we reach our goal here on YouTube, which will reach at any moment now. But let me know what's working for you. How do you plan on growing? And are you willing and ready to move forward and embrace change and let go of who you used to be? And most importantly, don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed, because you can't. You have to learn how to be vulnerable and be honest. Okay? Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye. Peace. Until next time.